Limited were Bullard, Hopper, Kraft, Musgrave, Dillard, and Alexander. Did not practice were Quay, Christian Watson, Evan Williams, Elton Jenkins.
It's a broken record asking you about Jair every day, but did you get to look at him today? And are his chances of playing this week better than mine?
I'd say probably not.
What's standing in the way?
His knee. He's limited with his knee.
Is it just not reacting like you want it to, or?
I don't know. I'm not a medical guy. I just go by what I see and what they tell me.
What did you guys do today? Was it like a full practice?
Oh, yeah. It was our standard Thursday practice. The only thing we didn't do was we didn't have pads. We didn't have pads on today.
And yesterday was just walkthroughs?
It was all walkthrough, yes. Which is pretty. I mean, when you have a late Monday night game, I would say it's pretty normal for a Wednesday.
Amanda, watching your games and watching games around the league, it seems like the screen pass is as popular as ever and seems to be working pretty well. Have you noticed that at all this year? And if so, is there something about that play that makes it a good one?
I think every situation is a little bit different. I think it all depends on who you're playing. Some teams defend screens a lot better than others, and there's a lot of reasons for that. Maybe more man coverage. It just depends on the style of screen that you're trying to run and how well people get out of the stack, meaning the D linemen or any rushers, how well they are able to put their foot in the ground and come out of it. Some teams have guys that are really good at reading out of screens. So I think it's just it changes on a week-to-week basis.
You've been able to coach two of the best running backs in the league right now. Obviously, Aaron Jones this past few seasons, and now Josh. What was the transition of going from one that does it so differently than another to maximize Josh's talent schematically?
I think they are different backs in the sense of maybe some of their running style, but I think they're both so good at what they do that you can do whatever you want with either one of them, if that makes any sense. I think they're unique in their own regard and how they get it done is what I would tell you. But they're both dangerous out of the backfield in terms of their ability to catch the ball. They both can make people miss. So I think, it's been pretty seamless, going from Aaron to Josh, and he's had a lot of success. And, conversely, Aaron's had a lot of success in Minnesota.
Did it take a certain number of weeks to really figure out who Josh was going to be in this offense and be able to kind of maximize who he is?
Nah, I wouldn't say that. I think it just, it was more or less trying to get a feel for everybody and what we were going to be offensively, I would tell you, more so than anything else.
Pressures and sacks get a lot of the attention, but what has Rashawn Gary contributed to your guys' run defense?
Yeah, I think he's done an outstanding job. I think that's one of the areas that I would tell you that is most improved, and I think it's gotten better as the season's progressed. Just our ability to come off the ball, set edges, getting multiple hats at the football. I think all the guys have been doing an outstanding job.
You talked about learning your offense and what you were going to be. As you look back to the first meeting with the Vikings, how much can you take away from that in a game that was really a tale of two halves as well?
Yeah, you can take a lot from it in terms of, this is a very opportunistic team. They do a great job of creating takeaways. And I don't know, what did we have, 4 turnovers or whatever it was? You cannot do that and allow them to get out in front of you. It's a high potent offense. They're very explosive. It's going to be imperative, I think, that we come out the gates and we start fast, especially going into a hostile environment. This is one of the toughest places to play. It's one of the most fun places to play. There's going to be a lot of energy in that stadium, no doubt about it. And I think both teams will be energized to play this game.
What do you think are some of the biggest factors for Sam Darnold to have the success he's had with the Vikings?
I'd say all of the above. I think Kevin O'Connell's done a hell of a job in a short period of time there. Just, he got a high level of play from Kirk, and he's doing the same with Sam. And obviously, they got a ton of weapons. Probably the best receiver in the game, one of the better tight ends in the game, and they got multiple receivers. Addison's great as well. Aaron Jones. I mean, they got a lot of weapons. I think they've done a really nice job. I think they present a lot of problems with just how they stress you in different ways defensively, their ability to run the ball and then come back with some play action. So Kevin's a guy I got a lot of respect for, who you see each week. Whenever we have a crossover game, you're always kind of looking at what they're doing, and he's done a nice job.
Matt, how do you think you guys have handled pressure this year? Like 5 or more rush, not just Jordan, not just the offensive line, but
How do you think we've handled pressure, Tom? What do they handle? I know that this is a setup question. So what do the analytics say? How?
I don't really go into that too much. I have my own.
Goes with his gut.
Okay, well, what's your gut say? I'm a big gut guy. So
I'm asking the questions here, Taylor.
I just want to know. I'm just curious, and then I'll tell you what I think.
You first, then I'll go.
I mean, I think there's been situations where we've done a really nice job with it, and then there's been some instances, like the first time we played these guys, where we had an all-out look and, didn't get the right protection, and then threw one up, and they picked it off. So I think there's been moments where we've done a really nice job with it, and I would say over the course of 2 years, there's been more good than bad, but there has been some moments where we have not handled it up to the standard which we would like to handle it.
You've been blitzed a lot. Like in that last Vikings game, they blitzed a ton, didn't they?
Yeah, that's their defense, and they're going to bring a lot of different pressures, whether it's blitz sims. They do a really good job of presenting a lot of problems, and I don't want to dive too deep into it because I feel like I'm giving away some of the answers to the test, but they do it. They have a nice defensive scheme, and they got a lot of players that they can interchange, and so I've got a lot of respect for not only what they have drawn up schematically, but their players' ability to go out there and execute what they want to get done.
What is the challenge with him? Like, he's super complimentary of you. I mean, there's a lot of smart defensive coordinators. There's a lot of coordinators who blitz. But what stands out about Ryan that makes him a challenge maybe compared to some other guys?
Just at the level at which they are going out there and causing problems. I mean, you see it all the time, like whether it's getting sacks on the quarterback, getting hits on the quarterback, getting pressures, forcing the quarterbacks to make bad decisions. Like I mentioned the takeaways already. And they can do it out of a variety of different personnels and they could be out there in one personnel grouping and line up 5 different ways. So it's the interchangeable pieces and the versatility of those pieces to go play many different positions where it's complex. It can be complex for us, but it's easy for them.
Been the challenge of playing in this division this year, and has iron sharpened iron, competing with 2 other great teams in the division?
Well, I think we'll find out when it comes to playoff time, but I believe that. I think that just all of us going against one another, it's forced you to be at your best every week. I mean, you can't afford to slip up just to keep up with everybody, and so it's just, I would say that it's forced you to bring it every day.
Did you ever cross paths with O'Connell at any, I mean, he had some of the same jobs you had in your career earlier, but had you come across him at all before?
Not necessarily. I mean, we do have the same agent, so, there's been meetings, I would say, and then obviously his time with Sean, but no, I would say not in the coaching world per se.
I'm just wondering what he's done with them in his first couple of years is a lot like what you did with these guys in the first couple of years. How hard is that to hit the ground running with a team and have success right out of the chute?
Yeah, it's extremely difficult. And like I said, I think every situation is a little bit different, but he's been able to do it now with 2 different quarterbacks, which isn't always the easiest, but Yeah, and he's done a great job. They got one of the best defenses in the game right now. So it's going to be a great challenge.
It's obviously a copycat league, but he also comes from a different schematics. Is he a guy that you pick anything from? And conversely, do you see, oh, that's one of our plays ever when you watch his offense?
Oh, yeah, we've stolen a lot from him. So, and I mean, you'd have to ask him, but, you know, I think generally speaking, especially when there's a lot of crossover tape and you see a lot of their tape, that you're going to, if you see something that's a good design, you're going to naturally take it. Matter of fact, we stole one and it didn't work out to our favor when we were playing Houston. That was the pick that Jordan threw. We were hunting 3 deep that they ran versus Houston. It was a really good play design. We just got the wrong coverage and threw a pick on it. So it doesn't always work out that way, you know? Sure.
Hey, Matt, you talk about next man up all the time, but I'm wondering what you think of the depth your defense has showed this year. I mean, Zane's played well for you, CV's played well for you. What do you think of what you've gotten out of your kind of second line guys?
Yeah, having a hard time getting these questions out, man. All right. Yeah, now you're making my voice feel that way. I would say that, yeah, I think a lot of these guys, it just speaks, I think, to their football character, being ready to go when your number's called upon. I mean, we hit it all the time. You just got to maximize your opportunities, especially if you're not the lead dog. And I think if you are a starter, that you can never take it for granted, because there's always somebody that's putting in the work trying to take your job. So I think it's a credit to guys like Zane, and you know, certainly I think our position coach is doing a great job staying on the guys. I think that is one of the more challenging things to do, is when you aren't the starter, is can you stay in it mentally and get those mental reps and just be engaged in the meeting room and then transfer it out to the field, and hopefully when you get your opportunity, you're ready to go.
For Christian, I don't know if I'm not sure you're optimistic on Tuesday, but it seems there's like a little hope when he talked to us at the time.
Yeah, he didn't practice today.
As far as Sunday goes, any he's got a shot, or
He's going to be a guy that I think he's played enough. If he's feeling up to it on Sunday, then we'll let him go. If he's not, then we won't let him go.